no ISK, no skills, and no excuses. This is station trading like you don't usually see it. Now before we dive in, please take a moment to subscribe to the Eve Mogul YouTube channel. You'll get alerts every time a new video is published, just like this one, with awesome ways that you can learn to make ISK in Eve. Now, station trading, no excuses. I'm going to take a brand new character, fly him directly to Jita and start station trading. However, unlike almost all station trading videos and guides, I'm going to start with only the 5,000 ISK that a new character begins with, and I'm going to leave skill training permanently turned off. So why even bother doing this? Well, first of all, to prove that technically, even a player with a brand new character can make a killing trading the markets in Eve in one form or another. And I wouldn't necessarily recommend this to a noob, but my point is just to prove that it can be done and it does have potential. And secondly, to bust the myth that you must have huge amounts of ISK to get any worthwhile success in station trading. This is a common misconception, and as you're about to see, it's just not the case. And thirdly, and most importantly, so that you can start station trading and start filling your account with ISK no matter what stage of character development you're at. Now I'll be moving fairly quickly, but I'll break it down to basics so you can start station trading and get the tools you need to make profits immediately. So grab yourself a drink, get your neckbeard in order, and let's get started. Now I've created a brand new character, as you can see. I don't care at all what he looks like, and I've randomized his appearance entirely. And I've named him Mogul Mark for no good reason. Click on the enter game button. Here we are in station at Eve time 21:48. Undock straight away and head for Jita. If we look at the skill training queue while we're en route, you'll see that it's completely empty and will stay that way for this demonstration, which I'll also confirm later on. And a look at the transaction window shows that we've only got 5,000 ISK and 5 market order slots available. Fast forward and here we are at the Jita Trade Hub. It's now time 22:10. The generally accepted definition of station trading is that you never undock from station. You buy items in that station cheaply, and then you sell them again in that same station for a higher price. So in this case, in the Jita system, well, pretty much absolutely everything in the game is sold here. However, as we've only got 5,000 ISK that you get with a brand new character, we do have to start off pretty small. So let's take a look at the market and start some station trading. So starting small means that I'm looking first at cheap ammo and maybe scripts or cap boosters. In this case specifically, I found Fusion M ammo which is suitable. At around 1 million per day, it's got a reasonable volume, which you generally want, as high volume is important, especially early on. It does tend to have an okay number of sales around or under the 20-day average, as we can see by the median price point denoted by the yellow dot, and a nice spread of prices around the average as well. And by that I mean there's some larger price discrepancies on some days, which means that we'll usually get our buy orders filled without too much trouble. In all honesty, I would prefer there to be more price discrepancy, as I believe that'll be more beneficial to us in buying low and selling high, although this will be fine to simply get us started. Remember when looking at these charts though that this isn't a perfect metric, as it takes into account sales all around the region and not just the station you're in. But the major trade hubs do tend to dominate the charts, and it does mean that your buy orders will probably get filled more quickly. Now, as mentioned a moment ago, the charts alone aren't always the best indicator of great items, so you need to cross-check it with the price margins, as you can see. And in this case, the margin of 35% difference is good enough. I put in a buy order for 80, importantly leaving some ISK over for transaction costs and making sure it's at the top of the buyers list, and then just babysit the order to make sure it stays there, raising the price to beat competitors usually by 0.01 ISK when I need to. Now setting up this order is going to cost some ISK in transaction costs. It'll be 100 ISK to set up the order at this particular order value, and also a smaller amount of ISK every time I want to modify that order. And this is largely the reason that I've really maxed out my funds on just one trade, because if I try to trade a number of different items while my account value is so small, the transaction costs will kill off my capital really quick. Almost straight away my buy order on the Fusion MMR was filled and I immediately listed for sale at the higher price. 8 minutes later, my items sell and I'm up about 900 ISK, as you can see by my account value, or a percentage profit of close to 20% on my full account funds. Now there are some transaction costs involved here as mentioned, which you do need to keep on top of early on. Remember, at 100 ISK for setting up the trade and smaller amounts for each modification, you must make sure that the first item traded has enough profit margin and volume to sell quickly and with a good return so you end up on top. Of course, you could just train accounting and broker relations to help drive down these costs, but as you know, that's not the goal here. So I repeat this process of buying and selling a few times, throw in a couple more suitable items, and after roughly half a day of off again on again focus, my account is up to roughly 700,000 ISK, including sell orders and buy order escrow. So you get the idea. Now the actual ISK values aren't huge, however the percentage returns are, and you can be pretty sure that with these sort of percentage returns that the ISK value is going to start to climb quite quickly with time and effort. Now having said this, be aware that station trading does take a lot of time and focus to keep churning over, so be prepared for that. Now let's fast forward a few days and see where we're at. The first day was fairly slow. Like many of you, I do have to work a job, I had a lot of errands to run, and of course I had to spend a lot of time pleasuring my woman. However, once the weekend hit and I could really focus on it, things did start to pick up. Firstly, here's a recap half a day in again on the specific items I'm trading. I'm focusing on medium titanium sabot ammo, medium standard crystal ammo, and medium multi-frequency crystal ammo. Bear in mind that the best items at any particular time might change, but these are working very well for me right now. Account value is at 693,000, which includes liquid ISK plus buy order escrow and sell orders. So not too bad, starting from only 5,000 ISK. I've increased my trading capital by 139 times. And mind you, I will be putting the full transaction history up on the Mogul website, so you'll get full transparency. I'll also have some explanations on the various different items that I chose to trade, what worked and what didn't. But how far can I actually take this? Firstly, from the perspective of not using up any more time than I have to simply prove a point, and secondly, to make sure that I don't stab myself from the sheer utter boredom of station trading. What can I say? It's just not my thing. Well, here I am at the end of this demonstration, almost 3 days from starting the character, and you can confirm this by checking the date and time the character was made against the last trade. No skills either currently in training or previously been trained, and an account value of 15 million ISK. All done via station trading in Jita using a brand new character and only 5 market slots. And all I've been doing the whole way through is simply trawling through the entire market looking for suitably priced items with sufficient profit margin of no less than around 30% at this point, buying them cheaply and then selling them for a profit. So why am I going to stop at this point? Well, firstly, I don't really find this type of trading all that engaging. I much prefer to do inter-regional type trading because for me personally, I feel that that's where the super huge money is. Secondly, my premium set of trading guides at the Mogul website does start off with an account value of 10 million ISK, so the complete trading noobs now can see that they've got a very viable way to get to that starting point via trading. And 3, having only 5 market order slots is simply starting to get restrictive. I'm being forced to move into high value items to properly utilize all of my ISK and importantly keep it turning over quickly, and the margins are smaller and also the competition does seem to be more fierce. The solution in this case would be to start trading for more order slots and spread my ISK over as many items as I can. Get a broader range of lower margin items and believe me, the ISK will start to add up. Now, speaking of order slots and skills, if you find that station trading looks like something that appeals to you personally, follow what I do in this video, but make sure you train trade, retail, wholesale and maybe tycoon to get more order slots. And the other all important skills are accounting and broker relations, which should be trained to level 5 to get your transaction costs down. And finally, margin trading, which will allow you to set in buy orders but only require a small percentage of the actual ISK needed to buy those items to be held in escrow. train this one to level 5 also. The benefit of margin trading is that you'll be able to have many more buy orders up for higher volumes, thereby increasing your potential to secure more profitable trades without having to tie up nearly as much risk as you would without the margin trading skill. So you can start station trading with virtually nothing, and technically it is accessible to noobs. Do you need a massive amount of ISK to start station trading and make good returns? No, obviously not. And if you start training for more market order slots and actually utilize the margin trading skill to leverage your orders, it's not a hard leap of logic to really see that there's potential for a massive amount of ISK to be made. Now, as I said previously, you'll find this video and a full transparent transaction listing on the Eve Mogul website. You'll find the link for that below. I've also listed some graphs of the items I chose to trade with some commentary on why they were really good or why they really sucked. So check that out and let me know what you think. Additionally, I'll be the first to say that while I'm quite good at this and I can flex my account indefinitely doing it, I am not the king of station trading. So if you really get a kick out of it, there are a lot of good tutorials and videos right here on YouTube by people who've made billions and billions of ISK doing so. So check those out as well. And lastly, if this video has spiked your interest in trading, but you're after something a little bit different, perhaps a bit more engaging or expansive like inter-hub or inter-region trading, then check out the premium video guides on offer at evemogul.com. Or better yet, head on over to evemogul.info and grab the free video that teaches you the basics of inter-regional trading, so you can get your trading in general started the right way. And if you like what you see there, I've definitely got you covered with a whole lot more where that came from. And finally, remember to subscribe to the Eve Mogul YouTube channel so you get alerts every time a new quality video like this one is put up. You'll also find me on Facebook and Instagram, and if you even got the remotest tiny bit of entertainment from this video, please give me a thumbs up. All the best and happy trading. Hey guys, getting good at that. Hey guys, this more detail now, not only fucking bugs. Almost there. Almost. Hey guys. I'm going to start with only the 5,000 ISK that's given to However, unlike almost all so why bother even doing this? Well, first of all, we do have to start off pretty small. So let's take a look at, what are we looking at? And while I wouldn't necessarily recommend this to a noob, it is, what is it? My point. So why am I going to stop at this point? Well, why am I stopping at this point? You dickhead. That's why.